Or is it the other way around?
Well, I'm going to answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer it because I would argue that when society functioned the way it previously did, where there was a man and a woman and a husband and a wife and a family and a small home and children in it, I would argue that men didn't want to give up having a wife and having kids that they take care of and going to work, because most men still want that now. Women want to give up having a responsibility and a duty to men. Men still want that. Ask the average man, what do you want? I want a woman. I want some children. I want her to listen to me. I want her to be loyal. I don't want her to be a hoe. I don't want her to talk to anyone else. Men still want the same thing. Women have changed. Most women, of course, exceptions exist. Most women don't want to obey a man anymore. So women changed the game, and women said, we don't want to obey anymore. We're going to change the way society functions, because they thought it would be fun. And they thought that they would have this liberation and girl power and all of this garbage. So now we're in a situation where we described how the girls act. Let's describe how the men act, because there's two categories of men. The men who can get girls and the men who can't. Well, the men who can't get girls, they just sit online all day and have checked out of society. They play video games and trade crypto and smoke weed. Now, the system by and large has no problem with them, because although the population is collapsing, although there's a population collapse, they're just importing people from other parts of the country and destroying cultures in real time to keep the populations up. The reason they have no problem with the people who don't reproduce and have a wife and have kids and have family is because it's very difficult for a man to stand up and protect a society if he has no vested interest in the society. He can just leave or check out, right? If a society is collapsing all around him, but he has a wife and kids, he's going to want to stand up and protect his home and house. If he just sits in his bedroom playing video games and society is collapsing, he makes memes and thinks it's funny. So he has no problem with that. And then you have the men who can get laid. And the men who can get laid have worked very hard to put themselves in this position. They've worked very, very hard to finally achieve the status and the wealth and the capability to be attractive to women in a hyper-competitive dating market. They're spoiled for choice. All of the beautiful women in the world, to some degree, want a man which is semi-like them. And men who manage to get to this level of life naturally optimize their minds for competitiveness and for competence. So if you find a 23, 24-year-old man who managed to make millions and millions of dollars because he naturally optimizes for competence and he's in good shape and he's very logical about things, and he's out there in the world and he can get all these different girls and he sees how all of these girls act and he sees very few of them have any values, what's he going to do besides just tear through a bunch of them, which is what he's going to do. And then you're right. Then it is the man and the woman. And it all gets worse.
Like you said,